A Sunday afternoon at one of the UK's most popular attractions turned to tragedy when a 6-year-old boy was thrown from the 10th floor balcony of London's Tate Modern gallery. Witnesses say they heard a loud bang and then saw his mother frantically searching for him.
My first instinct was like, oh my God, something is going on, and I just felt like I must take my child and try to move out. And we rushed to the exit, and then on my way to lift, I met that woman who was running, and she was shouting, "Oh, my son, my son."
The child's fall was broken by this balcony 5 floors below, roughly at the same level as that large flat roof. He was treated by medics at the scene before being airlifted to hospital, where he remains in critical but stable condition. A 17-year-old boy was arrested on suspicion of attempted murder and taken into police custody after being detained by members of the public. Scotland Yard said in a statement that it had no evidence to suggest that he knew the victim, who was visiting the UK from France with his family. The Tate Modern was the most visited tourist attraction in the United Kingdom last year, welcoming 5.9 million people. The gallery issued a statement saying that it was working closely with the police to help with their investigations. All our thoughts, it said, are with the child and his family. On Monday, its 10th floor viewing platform was closed to the public. Nina Dos Santos, CNN, London.
पूरे देश को शर्मसार कर देने वाली हैदराबाद की गैंग रेप की घटना के बाद जो पुलिस ने किया है वह बहुत ही बहादुरी का कार्य किया है, वह न्यायपूर्ण कार्य किया है और इससे 125 करोड़ हिंदुस्तानियों के दिल को सुकून मिला है। कानून की दृष्टि से चाहे लोग इसकी जैसी भी व्याख्या करें।
All the 4 accused got together. They started attacking the police party with stones, sticks and other materials, and also they snatched away weapons from our 2 officers and started firing. So even though our officers maintained restraint and asked them to surrender, but without listening to us, they continued to fire and continued to attack us.
On the basis of the testimony and the evidence before the House, President Trump has committed impeachable high crimes and misdemeanors by corruptly abusing the office of the presidency.
What has happened in the case today is something that I do not think we have ever seen before. A president who has doubled down on violating his oath to faithfully execute the laws and to protect and defend the Constitution.
I'm concerned about lowering impeachment standards to fit a paucity of evidence and an abundance of anger. I believe this impeachment not only fails to satisfy the standard of past impeachments, but would create a dangerous precedent for future impeachments.
If what we're talking about is not impeachable, then nothing is impeachable. This is precisely the misconduct that the framers created a constitution, including impeachment, to protect against.
If the president uses his office for personal gain, the only recourse available under the Constitution is for him to be impeached, because the president cannot be, as a practical matter, charged criminally while he is in office, because the Department of Justice works for the president. So the only mechanism available for a president who tries to distort the electoral process for personal gain is to impeach him. That is why we have impeachment.
The Constitution of the United States does not care whether the next president of the United States is Donald J. Trump or any one of the Democrats or anybody running on a third party. The Constitution is indifferent to that. What the Constitution cares about is that we have free elections.
The Constitution, the supreme law of the land, specifies bribery as a ground of impeachment as it specifies other high crimes and misdemeanors. Bribery had a clear meaning. If the House believes that the president solicited something of value in the form of investigations or an announcement of investigations, and that he did so corruptly for personal gain, then that would constitute bribery under the meaning of the Constitution, and it would not be lawless. It would be bribery under the law.
This statement has been made, not just by these witnesses, but Chairman Schiff and others, that this is a clear case of bribery. It's not. And if you can't make out those crimes, then don't call it that crime. If it doesn't matter, then what's the point? Call it treason. Call it endangered species violations if none of this matters.
If Washington were here today, if he were joined by Madison, Hamilton, and other framers, what do you believe they would say if presented with the evidence before us about President Trump's conduct?
I believe the framers would identify President Trump's conduct as exactly the kind of abuse of office, high crime and misdemeanor that they were worried about, and they would want the House of Representatives to take appropriate action and to impeach.
Impeachments require a certain period of saturation and maturation. That is, the public has to catch up. I'm not prejudging what your record would show, but if you rush this impeachment, you're going to leave half the country behind.
R. Kelly, what do you want to say to your fans?
R. Kelly is set to go on trial in April 2020 in Illinois on 13 federal charges. The charges include recruiting women for sex, persuading people to conceal his sexual contact with teenage girls, and buying back videotapes of the encounters. Kelly has denied any allegations of sexual misconduct in the past. He's also facing federal kidnapping and sexual exploitation charges in New York, and state charges of prostitution involving a minor in Minnesota. Kelly's indictment comes after the new Lifetime docuseries Surviving R. Kelly. It follows allegations of sexually abusing minors aimed at Kelly.
I was a little girl in like a bad man's world. I never really recovered from it.
For more than 20 years, allegations of sexual misconduct have been mounting against R. Kelly. The R&B singer has repeatedly denied all accusations of wrongdoing. Let's take a look at how we got here. In February 2019, lawyer Michael Avenatti said he turned over a tape to authorities as part of the investigation into R. Kelly.
This tape leaves no question as to whether R. Kelly is guilty of multiple sexual illegal acts against a 14-year-old girl.
The video, which CNN viewed, appeared to show Kelly having sex with a girl who referred to her body parts as 14 years old. Public backlash against Kelly had already been growing for some time. The Me Too movement set its sights on the 3-time Grammy winner in 2018, uniting behind the hashtag #MuteRKelly. Apple Music and Spotify refused to promote his music. Protesters tried to cancel concerts, and fellow celebs cut ties.
R. Kelly is a scumbag.
Making a song with R. Kelly was a mistake.
That same year, 20-year-old Faith Rogers sued the R&B singer, claiming he unlawfully gave her alcohol, sexually assaulted her, and gave her an STD.
Did you want to have sex with him? No. He has this type of like intimidation right off the bat, you know? So I was just waiting for it to be over.
Representatives for Kelly declined to comment, but in a video posted online after Rogers' lawsuit reached the media, the singer can be seen discussing his legacy.
I'm handcuffed by my destiny. It's too late. They should have did this 30 years ago. It's too late. The music has been injected into the world.
It was far from the first call for action against Kelly. In 2017, BuzzFeed News published an explosive story alleging that Kelly was holding a group of adult women against her will as part of what some of their parents called a cult.
My daughter is severely brainwashed. She says anything that he asks her to say.
I'm not being brainwashed or anything like that. I just want everybody to know, my parents and everybody in the world, that I am totally fine. I'm happy where I'm at, and everything is okay with me.
Kelly has repeatedly denied any wrongdoing. In 2008, Kelly went on trial for 21 counts of child pornography. Prosecutors said he videotaped himself having sex with an unidentified underage girl. Kelly was acquitted of all charges. More than a decade earlier, Kelly had stirred up controversy by reportedly marrying his 15-year-old protege, singer Aaliyah.